What's going on, folks? TJ Lauerman, a.k.a. That Sports Gamer here. Bullpen Banter, episode number 58. It's a gold rush! And speaking of gold rushes that happened in the Yukon Territory, I take you to the opposite side of Canada, which I think is where the Yukon Territory is, and I give you Snaggle J.
Yes, I would be on the opposite side of the country than the Yukon Territory. What's up? What's up, man? How you doing?
Hey, man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. I got no complaints.
Speaking of gold rushes, remember there was a gold rush in San Francisco? You know who's on the opposite side of the country from San Francisco? None other than Mills Gaming TV. Millennium, how you doing, buddy?
Actually, I'm up north right now. I'm in Michigan helping build the northern wall to keep Snaggle out.
I mean, if you're building it in Michigan, I mean, I can probably still cross over in Maine.
But
So
we're trying.
You started in the wrong place.
We're making sure that the Canadian Navy is boxed in first. That's our first point of defense is the Canadian Navy. After that, then we'll go for your ground troops.
Does
All those asylum seekers that have come across then?
I assume Canada does have
First?
a navy. I would assume that's true, right?
Yes.
Oh, yes. We absolutely do. It's
It's
massive.
in Lake Erie. The whole thing.
Yeah.
I bet it's not. Is it called the Navy, or does it have a better name?
Yeah, it's got a better name. It's like the rundown marina that has like 4 ships in it.
No, it's...
I mean,
listen.
Listen, it's one thing to bash the country where I live,
Look.
but I mean, to bash the hard-working people of the Royal Canadian
Thank
Navy.
you. That is what it is called. It is the Royal Canadian Navy, led by
the
Voice
Navy-
Admiral
the
Ron
Navy.
Lloyd, CMMCD.
Play to full in the chat. Come on.
But to be a Sheriff Eli sub and to be talking down to servicemen and women like that, I don't know if we can be friends anymore.
I'm not sure if your shiny silvery badge has gotten to your head or not, but there isn't a service person in the world that's going to recognize the Canadian Navy. So maybe you bring a Mountie down here and I'll stop building the wall to the north. But until then, keep your ships, all 3 of them. One just sank, I think. I saw it. Leave them up there and worry about other things, like the big boys keeping you guys safe at night.
Hold on. Who won?
From Mexico?
Who ended up winning that whole thing? The Mountie or the Big Boss Man? Big Boss Man, right?
You know what? Listen, we might as well just move along because this is definitely not a fight that Millennium wants to get into because it's one he'll probably lose.
I mean, I lose a lot of fights.
Yeah, so let's
it's all about the entertainment.
He loses enough games on his own stream. Let's not start making him lose them on this one too.
Won the one at the end of this one.
But
You did, yeah. That's
but
true.
who
True
won
facts.
that? Who won that feud? Was it the Big Boss Man?
Yeah, of course the Big
The
Boss
Mountie
Man.
had to spend the night in jail, right?
Yeah, going to jail and deported or whatever.
All right.
Is there one win for a long period of time? No.
No, not really.
See? He's an old M60 gunner, and he has no idea Canada even has him on.
You know what? I wonder how many more days before Jinder Mahal is the longest reigning Canadian heavyweight champion.
Probably.
He's not Canadian. He's Indian. That's what he tells
He's
us.
from Canada.
I mean, he now hails
I
from.
know hails from is 2 different things.
So
It's like launch
he's not even
exclusive.
proud enough to be from Canada.
So he's a launch exclusive of Canada, or
This show is off to a fantastic start.
all right, guys.
You could almost say this show is off to a speedy start.
Oh.
I mean, I guess I'm supposed to get it, but I don't get it. So, how you guys been doing?
Pretty good.
Especially as the face of Canada, I feel like I should be defending us more, but
No, you're
Wait,
not.
you're the face of Canada?
yeah, where you been?
Apparently, he took the Kevin Owens thing a little too far.
Do you also put your face down on like a entrance ramp and then walk around it? Like, you don't know that that's his gimmick?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
puts his face in the. I mean, I know you
I
know,
don't-
but I would think the face of Canada would know what the gimmick's going to be.
I don't watch wrestling.
Yeah, exactly.
I support our Lord and Savior, Bret the Hitman Hart,
I
and all that he
feel
stands
bad.
for.
I feel bad that you totally blew Millennium's segue into talking about the event. I really, really feel like you dropped the ball on that one.
Listen, some people get it. It's just I'm just here trying to provide quality entertainment and try to push us the right way. And you know what happens when I try?
I know.
It sucks.
Once you learn how segue is spelt, you will realize that you never want to have another one.
True.
It's like Segui? Segui?
It's not spelt like Segway, the company that
Yeah,
makes
not at all.
those two-wheeled mobiles.
It's like Seg-io? Sequoia? S-E-Q... S-E-G... I don't know.
Definitely not spelled Sequoia.
Sequoia is a vehicle that I always really wanted to own.
The Toyota?
They were super nice. Yeah, super nice. I mean, they were ridiculous expensive.
I agree. So you guys been doing this the Speedster event thing?
No.
No?
I played a couple games in it, but
Yeah.
I've been more concentrating back on ranked seasons.
Ooh.
I just feel like ranked seasons is more fun for me this event.
You don't want your Manny Machado?
I mean, I do, but I'm never going to get to 12 wins. I just know that. I very, very regularly have said this, that I'm a 60 to 65% win guy. And that's pretty. And when it comes to baseball, stats over time are king. I'm never going to get to 12 wins, even with 2 losses. I just don't have that capability.
Yeah.
Amateurs.
I feel like as good as that, because that Carlos Gonzalez is an amazing, amazing, amazing card. I mean, you can stack that Carlos Gonzalez next to 99 Mike Trout, and he's very, very comparable. I also feel like you're going to be able to get him for like $70K at any given time on the market. So like, is 50 wins worth just spending $70K in subs to get the card? You know, like that's kind of the thing, right? Like I understand, like he's, that I believe it's an end game card, but again, if you can get him for $70K and you're going to have to play 70 to 80 event games to get the wins that you need, it's, I don't know. I don't see the appeal there.
Yeah, right now he's going for about 90 to 100,000.
Yep. And that price is up from earlier today, and it will continue to go down, especially as we get towards the end of this event.
Yeah.
I will also say this, that I don't think this event would be that hard to get to 50, because it's 2 weeks long and it's only 3 inning games. But previous events have been 1 week and 40. Like, you can spread out over 14 days, getting 5 wins a day, maybe.
Yeah.
In 3 inning games. I don't think that's that hard if you grind like 1 weekend day really hard. But for something about this event that I just didn't find fun. And I'm the first one to say that I'm a huge proponent of the 75 overall cap. I was a huge proponent of how they did you have to have 75 speed or whatever, and then bronzer common. But like, just something about it, while I'm playing, it's not fun for me.
How many diamonds were you able to sneak into your lineup?
I think I had Molitor, and I think it was 2 diamonds and like 2 golds.
Yeah, I think I have like
Yeah.
Ellsbury, Marte, and I want to say another diamond and another gold in there too.
It was very close to the.
Yeah, I still don't like that. I feel like that's too many diamonds. I feel like you just shouldn't have diamonds in these, because if you got diamonds, you're going to use them in ranked seasons. I would rather see them kind of stay over there for the most part, but
Yeah.
I understand.
Right, but if you have diamonds, what I do like is it's saying if you have diamonds, you're going to pay for it somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that that's true.
But in a 3 inning game, though, I mean, is it not easy enough to, punt your, I suppose you're punting most of your pitchers anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm assuming everyone would have Christian Bethancourt on their team.
Can't have them overall
Can't
too
have
low.
below 60.
Oh, that's right, 65. That's right.
Mm.
Well, so I mean, with that being said, I mean, I don't know, like, again, about the whole having diamonds, not having diamonds. Like, again, I don't know how much it would hurt you with having the 65 be the minimum. It's 6 of one, half dozen the other. I just didn't find this event, the style of it, to be very interesting. I feel like this would have been cool if it was like the second or third event
earlier in the year.
Yeah, like this would have been a cool starting event, or a couple events in, to show how dynamic the events could be. I feel like at this point it's just like, it's probably not the event that they should have had to compete with Madden release week. That's the big thing for me, is this event should have been something a lot more interesting and dynamic if they wanted to try and keep people's attention mention or not that is Madden Ultimate Team right now.
Well, and to answer from the chat, he asks, is part of the lack of fun also a result of Madden being so much more desirable right now? And I can say this: I've played Madden on stream for the entire week since it's been, or week and a half since it's been released, and I've done it very purposely because it's Madden release week. For my stream, that is what I'm doing to keep things relevant.
Yeah.
But for me, I haven't played Madden off stream. I'm talking about when I pick up a game to play off stream. It just hasn't been events. I've played ranked seasons instead. Yeah. I still like MLB. I'm still really enjoying MLB, and that's why I started streaming again now that release week is over for Madden. But for me, I just don't like playing this specific event.
Yeah, ditto everything Millennium just said. I played Madden last week exclusively on stream because it was new and fresh. And again, I mean, you know, as much as people don't want to acknowledge it, streaming has some business aspects to it. That's what people are watching. You want to stream what people are watching, and that's topical. But yeah, if I would have been streaming tonight, it would have been MLB. I stream MLB Monday nights. That would have been what it is. I still find the game interesting. I still enjoy playing Diamond Dynasty. I just don't feel, again, like that event really had any appeal to me personally when I can just go out and buy the card.
Yeah, I mean, the cargo card is a good card to have if you can get them, but I like the idea of the event, and I just don't like the execution of it a ton. Because again, I really don't like that we're putting in these weird limits, and then you still have these super powered cards. I just looked; I have 2 diamonds and 2 golds in my lineup.
And I just saw the guy against you also has 2 diamonds.
Or he had 3 diamonds actually.
Yes,
3 diamonds and 2 golds. So, yeah, I wish. Maybe I just wish they could figure out a way to like cap the overall somehow or something. Just I don't know. I don't want to use diamonds in events because I'm going to use diamonds in ranked seasons. That's kind of how I see it. The whole idea of ranked season is to use all your best cards. So I would want events to be a reason to not use my best cards.
And to answer what Weasel just asked as well, you know, do I think more events with shorter lifespans? I don't, because I think that would cause more complaining overall. Because when you take an event, make a shorter lifespan, you're only giving people a certain window of when they can play it. So, like, let's say for the Moonshot event, it was only a 3-day event, 4-day event, something like that. I worry that you're telling somebody, "Hey, I need you to put down whatever you're doing and play the hell out of MLB The Show for the next 3 days."
Yeah, and if this was a 6-7 day event over Madden launch week, I would assume that nobody would get that big reward.
Right, exactly, yeah. So they were smart in making this 2 weeks. I'm perfectly fine with the fact that it was 2 weeks.
Yep.
I'm more of me is just the lineup build. Like you said, if you have a really top tier card, a couple of those top tier cards, that negates a lot of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Like that Matt Kemp is amazing, all those kind of cards that are in there. I don't know the 75 overall cap was good enough. I agree that maybe the no diamonds might have been the way to go.
Especially in a 3-inning game where that's 2 home runs because you have diamonds against trash pitching. So it's a little frustrating sometimes. Any other ideas? Any other things on the event?
No, not really. I mean, again, I really like the card, but
I really would have. I would have liked to seen the Future Stars being the exclusive rewards in here. Just for me, I feel like they announced Future Stars. Ranked Season got one of them. The event got one of them. Or is the Future Stars one of the awards? I know the Machado is.
Yeah, it's one of the. It's the 9-game.
Right.
Reward.
Yeah, it's what's his name?
Lewis Brinson, I believe. Brinson.
Yes.
Lewis is his first name.
Yeah, it is.
Yep, Brinson.
I honestly believe that I think that all of the rewards should have been Future Stars, and they should have had like the one big Future Star as the 50 game or as the 12 game, whichever way you want to do it.
I was kind of hoping by them not doing it that they could do a Future Stars event after the September call-ups. That was my one thinking with that, as to do like a mid-September event where they could introduce some of the new Young Stars cards in that type of format. So I'm kind of hoping that's still something that will happen.
Yeah, the only thing is that you can't do a full Future Stars event because they didn't do any release pictures or anything. So
No, I'm just talking strictly in terms of rewards. I mean, like if, for example, a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. happened to get called up on September 1st, which is unlikely, but, someone like that who you could introduce in a reward type of system would be kind of cool.
I agree. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what Future Stars they do add in the coming weeks as guys get called up. We'll have to wait and see on that. You guys want to talk about this roster update?
Sure. I think there was a good amount of updates to it, and I think a lot of people were really happy. I saw somebody with 1,245 of one card of one of the ones that went to gold.
That's a little.
I'm not kidding you. I'm seriously not kidding you. It was. Hold on. I'll even tell you who it was.
I know someone in the Discord had 201 Justin Uptons before his update last week.
I saw a screenshot. Somebody had 1,000. It was either 200 or 400 of the Corey Knebels.
Jeez.
Or Knievel, yeah. And I'm not kidding. Like he actually took video of him selling the duplicates and having a million subs after that.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I feel like it was a pretty decent roster update. I know a lot of people made a lot about Robinson Cano dropping back down to gold. It is what it is, right? It's one of those things. Nice to see Moustakas and Hosmer get upgrades. I know Brian Dozier kind of took a lot of people by surprise because he wasn't actually setting the world on fire. He's just having another Brian Dozier-esque kind of season. The Corey Knievel or whatever the heck his name is, that card, I hate the fact that he went gold. I hate it because of the simple fact that to get him to gold, they had to bump his home runs per 9 by 11 because because his walks per 9 actually went down 5. So I hate the fact that he went gold and made people a ton of money. I know he's pitching great. He's a walk machine in real life. He's got 30 walks in 50 innings. So he's definitely warranted of the 44 walks per 9. I just hate that it's a simulation stat increase that bumps him to gold. Mm-hmm. That drives me nuts.
And he already had one actually earlier this season. He went from 57 to 66 home runs per 9, which helped get him a +6 bump earlier this year.
Well, he's also.
Go ahead, Millie.
He actually is having a phenomenal season with home runs over 9 innings pitched. He went from 1.4 in his real rookie year. His rookie year with Detroit, he only pitched in 8 games. So he went from 1.4 home runs per 9 innings pitched to this year he's at 0.4. So I mean he is more than 200% upgraded that. He's only given up 3 total home runs in 60 innings or 61 innings. I mean, while I understand where you're coming from, I hate the fact that, and I agree, I hate the fact that it was a stat that has nothing to do with his actual in-game play. Yeah. But when you're playing the market like that, I guess you just kind of have to deal with all 4 stats.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't disagree. He's having a phenomenal season. I don't disagree that the home runs per 9 were not warranted of an upgrade. I just hate the fact that a stat that literally has no effect in Diamond Dynasty whatsoever is making people hundreds of thousands of stubs. That irks me. I understand it's a playing the market and it's part of the game. Just on a personal level, that bothers me. That's all I'm saying. I understand that's part of the game. I just disagree with it. That's all. The crusty old man in me is waving my fist at the community.
You're allowed to have an opinion.
Yeah, whether it's wrong or not, it doesn't matter.
There was a quick question from Weasel in the chat. Just do we think Didi Gregorius is going to get upgraded this year or upgraded again? Now, keeping in mind that he was upgraded 2 full points on July 28th. Where he had his contact versus lefties dropped, but his contact versus righties upgraded. So it actually kind of turned him around from being a reverse splits guy to being an actual regular splits guy with 78-67 contact both sides. and 7350 power both sides. I think it's going to be tough considering he just got upgraded in July. He still had a decent August, but you would have to have a phenomenal August with his numbers to really. Let me see here. I'll tell you what he did in August. In August, he hit 317. He had only 3 home runs with 10 ribbies. I just don't know if that that's kind of what he was doing all year. I don't know that his average really deserves to go up anymore. I'm trying to think about what else could he 10 strikeouts and 107 plate appearances, so he's striking out one every 10 and a half. I don't know if there's anything to upgrade him from. He's not doing anything crazy against lefties that would warrant that upgrade.
Yeah,
and
now I feel like it's a no.
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
No, I just gonna say I feel like it's a no. I feel like Didi's is probably capped out at 83. That's probably where he's going to stay. I just don't see where you throw the points to get him to an 85.
And I just wanted to mention in the latest blog post, they had mentioned that they're going to change their roster update schedule, and now it's going to start being every other week going forward. I think with that setup, I think it's going to be a lot harder for anybody to get real bumps unless they go on significant tears for quite a while. Because I think in over 2 weeks, you might get hot for a little bit, but also come back down to normal. So I feel like there's not going to be as many players moving up and down each time.
It's also going to be tougher for them to do that because it's now not based on a couple months. It's based on, it's not based on like 2 months. Now you're basing on an entire season statistics. So guys who would have had to been hot the entire year have probably already gotten their upgrades. If you get a guy that gets really hot in a month, he's probably going to get a Player of the Month card as opposed to getting a full upgrade.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like at this point, if you're looking for guys that are going to jump levels, you need to be looking at the 89s and the 84s and guys that would require a marginal amount to get them to that level. I think that's kind of where we're at. Like, I know there's a lot of buzz about Marcus Stroman going gold. I know he just got bumped to an 84. He had another, pretty good start tonight. He's going to get, probably 4 starts during this roster update phase. He's going to get at least 3. So, again, that's somebody you might look at. A lot of people are talking about Inciarte, who is an 84. Again, those are the kind of guys I think you need to be looking at now. And the thing is, if you look at the prices on the market, those guys are already expensive. They're already snatched up. I think that people who are just looking to get into playing the market now, I am pretty confident in saying your window for maximum profit is probably closed.
Yeah, and I would definitely look for guys that, like you said, are just going to take that little bump. So, the Knievel, somebody that just needs maybe a little bit in a home runs per 9 or something, or walks per 9. Probably a lot of relief pitchers, if they can have 2 hot weeks, you'd probably be better off getting a shot there. But yeah, you got to look for guys that are just on the border with kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, Weasel brings up a good guy too. Justin Smoke, again, if he gets hot over a 2-week span and hits 5 or 6 home runs, and there's room there in the attributes to move it up. Again, those are the kind of guys that you need to be looking at. The guys that, if they get hot in one particular area that they are currently lacking in the game, at this point, I can't see them making dramatic up and down attribute changes. I think, unless someone starts absolutely lighting the world on fire, it's just one of those things, like I said, that most of the guys that people expect that may jump a level are already, getting up there. What's that? Stroman's going for 230. There's some room to make some money there, but you're going to see that price, especially again after he pitched pretty well again tonight. You're going to see that price probably take a shot up tomorrow.
The other problem with Justin Smoke is he started at a 68, but he's had 4 upgrades.
Yeah,
pretty consistently. He's had a May, a June, a July, and an August upgrade. So maybe one more upgrade, but he's going to have to play, as you said, above the level. He's have to continue to get better because right now he's got power. He's at 86, 79 power. Righty lefty. He's got. I mean, unless he starts getting huge averages against righties, which he's had decent. I just, like you said, there's no way you can see somebody that's had that many upgrades have a huge upgrade. Maybe to 84, but again, the other part of this is you also have to remember they're going to still balance as much as they can.
Well, and the thing is, too, is we talk about this on almost a weekly basis here, is the attributes are based on a 3-year span. Smoke was pretty bad last year in a part-time role. This is the first time he's been back into like a full-time everyday kind of role. Like, even if he, kept hitting well and got hot, it's not necessarily going to be like, oh, well, we got to get him up there. It's still a rolling average that we have to look at with these guys. And yeah, I just think the big diamond and gold movers are with probably only 3 roster updates left. I don't think you're going to see that many.
B. Sacalo in the chat says that he thinks Hoskins get a good high gold player of the month, and Byron Buxton could get a diamond player of the month. I am wondering if they would give Byron Buxton a player of the month so close to giving out his Future Stars card. I feel like that's probably something they wouldn't do because they were trying to even out guys so they don't have kind of duplicates like they didn't want to do. They didn't want to do judge because they already had the player of the month. That would essentially just be the same judge. So I wonder if they would avoid that specifically with Buxton. I could also see Hoskins getting a Future Stars card. So I think this is his rookie year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both situations there. I don't think either one of them ends up on a player of the month with the Future Stars program going. If you do that, then the Buxton card, and the Buxton card already doesn't have a lot going for it in the Future Stars program, except for his high end speed. So if you put out a player of the month for Buxton, you immediately take that Future Stars card, and it has no use whatsoever. Even for people who are Buxton fans, there's no reason to have both. Again, with Hoskins, I think Hoskins would be more of a Future Stars guy than he would be a player of the month. I think player of the month is more along the lines of, now Bellinger got one, so we're gonna ignore the Bellinger card because Future Stars weren't a series when Bellinger was brought up. But yeah, I believe that they're going to try to focus more rookies into Future Stars and unsung guys into the player of the month.
Is there any way that Giancarlo Stanton's not player of the month? Guy's hitting 394 with 17 home runs in August.
I mean, you would think
if he is not the front runner for player of the month, I mean, I know Buxton's had a good month, and again, I agree. With his Future Star card being as fresh as it is, there's not a chance he gets another special card. Hoskins has been good, but he hasn't been 400 with 17 home runs good.
He has been 8 home runs in 15 games, kind of good, though.
I mean, 17 home runs in 25 games is still better, but that's all I'm saying. He's OPSing 1482 in the month of August. If that's not worthy of a player of the month card, I don't know what is.
Agreed. Hold on. They wanted me to bring up Stanton's card. He's 97 power versus righties, 99 power versus lefties, 69 contact versus righties, 74 contact versus lefties. He's hitting to like 290, which I think is got to be up there for his career. So I mean, there might be a little more contact to squeeze out of him. I still think he's striking out a ton, though. 39 vision is not going to get help there too much.
Yeah, but what if it comes down to August? Like, if it was August, what can you give him for August? You can't give him any more power.
Yeah.
And what can you upgrade?
The only thing his flashback had was 97 contact versus lefties, or 98 contact versus lefties. So.
Yes, I mean, if you look at the month, he's hitting 394. So you could, I guess, he does have 20 hits that are not home runs. So I mean, you could bump his contact.
Yeah, you'd have to bump his contact or his vision.
Yeah, and that again, he has struck out. The vision's a tough sell because he does have 26 Ks in 25 games. So I mean, the vision's a tough sell. Again, I'm not the guy that has to design the card, but I feel like you have to, the hype around Giancarlo Stanton right now, chasing 60 home runs, the month that he's had, you have to find a way to make him the player of the month. I don't care how you do it, but you have to find a way to do it.
I just feel like they've set a precedent with Player of the Month that it's not going to be stars. Like it's 100%. They're trying to, as much as they can, not have like all stars.
Mm-hmm.
Like Eric Thames was the Player of the Month.
It's time to show our appreciation
James Paxton, like those guys are not household names to most baseball fans. I would think they're going to try to keep that going.
Yeah, and especially with Stanton already having a flashback that's a 93. It just puts them in a tough position because they've made everybody's pretty much been commons, bronze, and silvers that have gotten the Player of the Month cards. I think there was one gold, but I think he like got upgraded to gold like within the week or something when the card came out. But again, even in the beginning of the season, Freddie Freeman deserved it to be Player of the Month, and they didn't do it because that's what he's expected to do. So I can see maybe they just bump the Giancarlo Stanton card up, give him a little bit more contact,
Right.
Just to push him into maybe like 92, 93.
Yeah, I think that's probably the more realistic setting that Stanton gets a contact bump on his live series card.
Is there any other cards in the roster update you guys want to talk about?
Not really.
Yeah, it's interesting. I called it Gold Rush because 7 cards became gold, including the Cano dropping down from 91 to 88. But also, there were 10 guys that got the bump to silver. Rafael Devers went from a 75 to an 80, and he's got the 90 Future Star card. Eddie Rosario went from 72 to an 81. So there were some decent bumps on some guys. Archie Bradley went from a 79 to a 83.
Joey Gallo slowly making his way into a BR beast with those power numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was his upgrade they gave him?
I guess he got upgraded to an 80 overall. But the thing that people like about him with BR in regards to BR is he has a chance that anytime he touches the ball for it to go just flying, and he can play a bunch of different positions.
And the actual thing that changed that got him up to silver, it was actually a arm strength and accuracy bump.
Mm-hmm.
He went from a 71 arm strength to an 88, and 68 arm accuracy to 72, which makes him much more playable at third base.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that cannon, and also in the outfield. 15 plate vision. Whew.
I have a question for you guys. Is there any investments you guys have that you guys are still waiting to pan out at this point, or have you pretty much cut your losses and said, okay, if this guy hasn't been upgraded, I'm done?
I still got my Brad Brock. Still got a couple other guys, but nothing that I have like a ton of cards of.
I've still got like 75 Tommy Conleys, but like I'm almost gonna say that he's still pitching well is the problem. Like he's not. Mm-hmm. He hasn't fallen off a cliff or anything.
I still have more Brad Brocks than I care to admit. I still have a few other guys. I have a lot. I have 37 or so Marcus Stromans right now. But yeah, I just feel like you're getting to the point where you're really starting to doubt that they're going to get the upgrade again. With only 2 or 3 roster updates left. You're like, is it worth just selling these guys off now and using the stubs for something else?
Yeah,
we're kind of getting to the point where it's like, you don't want to hold on too long, and then the guy totally bottoms out.
It was very interesting that Jay Bruce went from the Mets to the Indians and got plus 15 power versus lefties. That was nice. I don't know if you guys heard the late breaking news today about the Mets. Yoenis Cespedes out for the rest of the season, so if you've stocked up on him, don't expect anything to happen there. And also, it sounds like David Wright is done. He is not going to continue his shoulder rehab this year.
He's done.
He said the pain is too much, I mean, we'll see. I don't know what his contract situation is like.
How much are they going to pay him to coach first base next season?
Well, in December, I did say that he would be coaching third base by the end of the year. So
You did say that.
they're still on the hook for $20 million next year, $15 million the year after, and $12 million the year after that. I guess insurance would cover that if he's physically unable to play. I mean, we have to see with him if he's going to come back next spring. If this actually gets straightened out, maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, had a good early career with them. And then, as with most people, you try to put the Mets on your back, and you literally break your back. So,
not everyone can be as smart as Bobby Bonilla and get $1 million a year until you die,
Yeah.
or whatever year they stop paying him.
I think it's like 2046, something like that.
Yeah. So not everyone's that smart.
Yeah, I will miss David Wright. A great, if he's really done, I will miss him. He was a great. What's the word? Like a
Player?
yeah,
Clubhouse guy.
yeah. But what's the one for like the whole league? He was like a good face of baseball.
Ambassador?
Yeah, good, that's what I was looking for.
Good
I was going to say entrepreneur, but no, it's definitely ambassador.
He doesn't.
I was like, it starts with an E. I know, I'm close.
He was a great entrepreneur of the game.
Yeah. So if he's really done, that's a sad thing. Though, if he's done and insurance covers this, I'm sorry, Millennium. Kiss Manny Machado goodbye. What if the Mets
You mean
swoop
he's
him?
going to go to the Mets? No, he won't go to the Mets.
No.
Fat stacks? Just saying.
Does Manny roll that life though? See if fat stacks kind of guy.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to be a Baltimore guy, so.
I think he would be more of a Florida guy than anything else. If he goes somewhere, like, I get it that there'll be money involved, but if he wants to go somewhere, it's going to be, it'll be like Miami.
Tampa
somewhere
Bay.
like that. No, not Tampa Bay.
It's definitely not going to be Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Tampa Bay. They're going to break the bank for Manny
I mean,
Machado.
dude had Mr. Miami on the back of his players' weekend jersey this weekend.
And word on the street, when Jeter takes over, first piece of business is going to be trade Giancarlo Stanton out of there. So
He's going to be what? Sorry.
to trade Giancarlo Stanton.
Okay, you cut out there. I assume that's what you said, but
Yeah.
well, there you go.
Who would you recommend?
Trade their 60 home run hitter and bring in Manny Machado.
Yeah.
That's not a bad move.
I think I was listening to Bill Simmons, and they were talking. Who would you give up of? If you had to pick one of them, would you give up Devers, Benintendi, or Mookie Betts for Giancarlo Stanton?
Mookie Betts. I'll say it right off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Mookie Betts. Mookie Betts is the best player on that team right now.
Oh,
And
I was going
would
to say,
give-
yeah. Who would you give up? Like if I was the Red Sox?
If you were the Red Sox,
Oh,
Bro, I don't think I'd give any of them up. If I had to give one up, it would be Betts. And that's not saying anything about Betts himself. It's just, dude, Benintendi is.
yeah.
He's not just a star; he is a superstar. And Devers, while still rough around the edges, Devers plays a position that Betts doesn't. I would rather have a really good third baseman than I would have a really good right fielder. You can find really good right fielders everywhere.
Yeah, that's what it will come down to for me too. Initially, I'd want to say Devers, but the third base is a premium, and I know Betts can't play third base. So I would say probably Betts. Again, Betts is a very dynamic, very good player. But if you're making me give up one of those three guys, and again, I don't think if you're the Red Sox, you give up either of those three guys. But I would also say Betts.
yep, that's what Bill Simmons also said, I believe.
I mean, again, right? Like Red Sox says in the chat. I mean, is it worth it for them to give up Betts to add 60 home runs to your lineup? Like it depends, because you're also inheriting probably 100 more strikeouts. There's a balance there, right? I don't know if that's something the Red Sox would do, to be honest.
Yeah, they're not a super powerful team, which is one of the reasons they would be interested in
True.
in Stanton, but because they got a lot of guys with 3 and 6 and 8 home runs. But, and he would be the Manny for a new generation, essentially. Or the new David Ortiz, pretty much. Just DH, hit bombs all day. Keep him healthy.
Live the life in New England.
I'm trying to say. They actually, Bill Simmons was like the Marlins should take a page out of the NBA playbook and trade Stanton for Harper straight up right now.
They would make that trade. Why would they?
The Nationals would. Yeah, the Nationals. I don't.
The Nationals would laugh at that trade.
Oh yeah.
Well, you think the Nationals are going to be able to keep Bryce Harper?
I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters.
I don't think that matters at all.
I don't think you take on. I don't think even if you knew you couldn't re-sign Harper, I don't think you immediately commit that money to Giancarlo Stanton, because I mean Giancarlo Stanton is owed a huge amount of money for a long period of time.
I think it's essentially 300 over 10 years, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's owed 300 over 10 million, why would you trade for Giancarlo Stanton, where you're going to pay the same money you would have paid to Harper?
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Essentially, pretty close to the same money. Him and Manny might command more, but at that point, I mean, you might as well, right? If you trading Harper would be a PR nightmare for that team.
It would be. Yeah.
He's not only a star for that team, he is a legitimate, like, bona fide, once in a lifetime guy for that team.
But if if he has told you he is not resigning,
you don't know that he's leaving.
But if he told you,
if he tells you you're not resigning, then you're not getting Stanton for him anyway, because teams are going to know that.
Yeah.
Like, if he tells you he's not resigning, then fine.
The only time it's.
But what if the Marlins just want the money off the books?
Well, I mean, I'm sure they do. Obviously, that's why they're trying to trade a guy who's going to hit 60 home runs. But like I said, if I'm the only way you could ever trade Harper if you were the Nationals is at next year's trade deadline, when you know there is zero chance he's going to re-sign, and you're out of it. To say they get off to a horrendous start and they're out of it, maybe then the fans won't burn the place down.
And to respond to Beast Kahlo in the chat, he says he feels like MLB is going to put a hard cap soon because contracts are getting too big.
Never.
Not as long as that players' union's there.
Mm-hmm.
That players' union, it is the strongest players' union in sports.
It wins. It's the players' union that wins.
Yes.
It's never going to happen.
But Snaggle J, what if they're out of it and they can trade Harper, get a bunch of prospects, and then re-sign Harper, like the Yankees did with Chapman?
Yeah, see how well that turned out.
Well, yeah, and I mean, the same. They do the same thing here with the Jays, right? I mean, people say that about Donaldson. Well, would it be okay if we traded Donaldson, and then re-sign and got a bunch of stuff back and then re-signed him? The thing is, you trade that guy, he's not coming back. I mean, because I don't think if you trade that guy, I don't think if they trade Bryce Harper, he's gonna be like, yeah, I'll come back. I think you trade him because you're to the point where he's gone. So you just
he's going to be a free agent. So it's
yes.
And the question is who's going to give him the money, because he's who's his agent? This guy, right? Scott Boras, yeah. So
yeah, he's gonna look awful good in pinstripes. I say that very sarcastically.
Hey man, I think the Cubs could use a third outfielder, right?
I think they're doing pretty good with what they got. Hopefully he goes somewhere where he gets forgotten, like San Francisco.
They could use a lot of outfielders. Biscala wants to know which third baseman we would pick between 99 Mike Schmidt, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado, and Longo. Flashback Longo, the 96.
Probably the Schmidt. I mean, he's got huge power.
Good defense too, right?
Yeah, he's got good defense too. Like, I don't see any reason why you would want to go with anybody else. I mean, unless you were to put Seager at third base instead. But
Corey's brother.
Yeah, Kyle's brother. Doesn't Corey Seager have? Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't he have third base eligibility?
Sounds accurate.
I know he's second.
I feel like all shortstops have second and third base eligibility.
Yeah, I feel like that too.
Double check. Dodgers that I can't.
Dodgers, yeah.
Dodgers that I can't afford. Corey Seager, you are one of them, and you have second and third base eligibility.
Red Sox makes a good point. Harper to the Dodgers could be not out of the realm of possibility either.
I think they were talking about Harper to Stanton to the Dodgers too.
Oh yeah,
just I think clear waivers.
I think anybody with a huge salary is somehow connected to the Dodgers.
It's the Dodgers right now. So they have all the money in the world. So
yeah, Magic Johnson's just tossing it around.
Just tossing his Magic Johnson around. It's weird. What else we got? New ball is a good.
Rank Seasons is ending September 14th. Don't forget that. So you're going to start making your push now if you have not already. Some of those cards, and at least the packs, in terms of what you can get from Rank Seasons in this specific season, might be worth it to you because you don't have to get as far to get as much.
Mm-hmm. I still have not played a Ranked Seasons game this season.
See, for me, Ranked Seasons is my favorite mode because it's a 9-inning baseball game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It gives me everything that is supposed to be good of baseball.
Yep.
I'm surprised you haven't played it yet, TJ, considering your boy is the wild card reward right off the bat.
I think I'm already
Wild card?
something like that. I think, right?
No, I think Dansby is not till you get to championship series.
No. Dansby's the wild card.
Yeah,
Dansby wild card. Yeah.
Giolito, who might be a decent pitcher, is the division series.
Mm-hmm.
Championship series, you get a guaranteed diamond live series player, and this is not one of the low diamonds.
It could be any of them.
That they had as a reward. It's a chance for anywhere between a 90 and a 99.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you get a guaranteed gold live series. So that's for championship series. They say World Series may be too easy to get to this year. They've got a hardware legend, Tom Seaver. We talked about hardware legends before because you're going to need them at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, hint. But just getting to the championship series would probably be enough to make that grind worth it.
Yeah, let me see how many. See if we can see how many are there. In a World Series, there's already 180 something, somewhere in that ballpark.
I'm in the Dansby group so far. I love, you know what? The
107,
last-
or at least 178 are in World Series.
That's not bad. The last few days rushing to try to get to the Eric Gagne really reinvigorated season. I had a lot of fun. You know, playing close games, a lot of comebacks, tinkering with your lineup. Like it really got me back into Ranked Seasons, and I've kind of kept going with that. And again, I've kind of fallen out of it this past week, but I enjoy Ranked Seasons more than any of the other Diamond Dynasty modes because it's a complete game. You have to have a complete team. Strategy plays, like actual baseball strategy plays a factor as opposed to the cheesy 3-inning BR strategy that people employ. That's kind of more up my alley. So yeah, no, I've been enjoying it as well. And plus that Giolito looks like an absolute monster.
Yeah, that should be pretty nasty. Though, going back to what Coop did ask earlier, I think the reason I haven't really played the season games this season has been because of Madden, because Madden's out, and season games take so long that I could bust out a bunch of solos in Madden in the same amount of time.
Well, I think the cool thing that Madden is taking, like Madden did a bunch of solos last year, but even now they're doing more and more solo content.
Mm-hmm.
I think MLB might have been on that train first, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters who was on the train first. I'm just encouraged to always see how much solo content offline people are getting now, since the big drawback to Ultimate Team that most people have, or the large intimidation factor, is playing other people online. And you really don't have to do that in Diamond Dynasty. You really don't have to do that in Ultimate Team anymore. And even NBA Live. NBA Live this year, they've already shown what they want to do with these co-op missions. NHL's going to have them too. God, I'm getting all excited again, guys. I love solo content in Ultimate Team modes because I just love being able to sit back, enjoy the team that I've put together, and play without having to beat my head against the wall trying to be competitive.
Yeah, actually, Madden did kind of take a page out of the MLB playbook this week. They had some essentially stat missions in their objectives, where if you had to have like a certain player in your lineup. I think it was Larry Allen, and rush for 2,000 yards with him, score 20 rushing TDs, and like it was essentially a program to get a better Larry Allen card that they had. That was kind of cool. So, what's it? Rising tide raises all boats, something like that. One of those things.
I think
Yes.
I think you had it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Some days I agree with Millennium. I mean, you can never have enough solo content. Some people go through these modes and like rarely ever play online games.
That's how I am with Madden. I prefer to play Madden offline, the majority of it. But it's funny because with MLB, I prefer to play online.
Yeah,
so I think
I do. Like I said, I've really enjoyed ranked seasons, and yeah, I agree. I am absolutely atrocious at Madden head-to-head against another user. It's awful.
I am 2-0 in my my first season. Though. I'm kind of bummed.
I haven't even dabbled yet, other than I don't count squads because I have squad mates that carry me to victory.
We should probably squad one day, but just saying.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. My defense is pretty tight. I got lots of red paint on the defense.
My butt might be pretty tight, waiting for one of you guys to try to lurk over the middle.
I got a kicker, so we're good.
There you go. TJ's got a kicker.
So
everything is right with the world.
Everything is right. But yeah, no, like I said, I do. I feel like nobody should have a right to complain about content. I mean, everyone should have a right to complain, but nobody should be complaining about the content that we've gotten this summer. I really don't think that's anything that people, like from the cards to the missions to online stuff, offline stuff. I really don't see a room for someone to complain.
Yeah, I think the one thing I'm looking forward to with content still is just to see what new future stars are going to be rolled out, and I guess what other flashbacks and stuff they pull out. I believe they said there's going to be 5 new flashbacks coming out this Thursday. I think it was. So that should be interesting. I do wonder if Player of the Month is going to wait till next week.
Justin Smoke just hit his 36th home run of the season, by the way. Attribute upgrades. Go get him off of Kimbrel.
That's a righty with 2 pitches, so, I mean, it's questionable.
Kimbrel downgrade incoming.
Anything else? You guys got anything else? How are you guys doing? You said you weren't doing too much in the events, both of you guys, right?
No.
Yeah, I think I'm at 2 wins, and to be fair, like it just, my love affair with MLB has always been about pure baseball. I didn't like Battle Royale last year, and while I did grind events this year, and it is fun, I've finally gotten to the point where if I'm going to spend, MLB The Show was the only game over the summer which allows me to justify doing those grinds. Like saying, I'm still playing MLB.
And I actually really like the 6-inning event. I feel like that really got me into events. But I feel like these 3-inning events, it's far too random. Like, I'll feel like I got all of that one with a guy, and it's just a fly out. And then I feel like they got none of that one, and it's a home run.
Can I just point out real quickly, TJ, that you are currently matched up against former Philadelphia Phillies all-star starting pitcher Kevin Gross.
Underscore.
It's actually him. It is definitely him.
Could be.
It is?
I mean, it could be.
I thought maybe you knew something, like how Trevor May plays.
142 game winner Kevin Gross currently playing TJ live on stream. Surprised his cap is not a cap of himself.
He does have there's no caps in the event.
Oh, you're in the event, so no caps. Okay, well. Anyway, there you go. Fun fact: Kevin Gross, he's a 72 bronze level player.
Snaggle, how far are you in the ranked season?
I am 3 points away from 700, so I'm 3 points away from Giolito. I've got the Dansby, and 3 points away from Lucas. I've got some time set aside, a couple evenings later this week, where I'm going to try to bang out the rest of it. I really just wanted the Future Stars, the 2 Future Stars cards, so I can complete the Moncada program and get a few more of those guys. But again, I would really like to get the chance to have any diamond level player. I think that would be cool. But yeah, no, like I said, I've got some time set for later in the week to grind through some of that. So.
And where are you, Bonnie?
Ranked seasons, I think I'm at 650 because I had lost a few games and actually didn't play through the last ranked seasons because of the events. That's the other reason I want to play through ranked seasons, because I've kind of ignored them for the most part due to events. Events it's just too many. So I am 650, but I've already been in Division Series. So I just got to grind up. I want to get the Championship Series. I want to get to the Seaver, but September 14th feels a lot longer away than it probably is.
You mean closer?
I know it's like 2.5 weeks, so we'll see.
September 14th, also known as the day before NHL comes out.
Plus you get next Monday off, so.
And both NBA games.
Yes, that's right.
Get that grind on.
That's
Actually,
right. We're off for Labor Day.
Actually, to be fair, you could play NHL on the 12th if you pre-ordered the Super Special Edition, or you have a hookup.
To be fair, you're also off, not actually off next Monday.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I am definitely off next Monday and Tuesday, as a matter of fact. 4-day weekend.
First off, Labor Day is not a Canadian thing.
It certainly is, my friend.
So it sounds like we're wrapping up. There is one thing that I
Wait,
do want to.
is it Labor Day? You got a U in there?
It does. Millennium wants to talk about something serious.
No, it's not serious. It's not serious. It's actually something that I want to thank TJ for profoundly. If you guys have not already, you probably want to join the That Sports Gamer or the Bullpen Banter, either one of them, the Discord. There is a pinned message on the Bullpen Banter one regarding using a proxy to download through PS4. The PS Store downloads, and I'm going to use everybody's golf right now as an example, have been historically slow. There's always someone that says something like you got to put your machine in rest mode, you turn everything else off, like you got to pray to Internet Jesus to make it work. TJ found an article.
Baby Jesus.
Yeah, little baby golden fleece baby Jesus. TJ found an article where it's downloading through a proxy on your computer. All you need is a computer, and there's a proxy program that has a link to it. It's in the Discord, and it just took my Everybody's Golf download, which is 14 gigabytes, that said it was going to take 9 hours on a 200 megabyte download for me. It just took it from that long to 45 minutes, and it's dropping. And I did that while I was sitting here. In 5 minutes towards the end here, while we were wrapping up, it was that short of a time. So if you have not already, there's a ton of tips for MLB. There's also a ton of tips just for everyday gaming. So make sure you go ahead and join not only the Bullpen Banter Discord, but the That Sports Gamer Discord for a lot of stuff that you may not know. And so I wanted to thank TJ for that, because I got that from him in the Discord. So
big ups indeed.
Yeah, I finally, I had always heard tale of it being a thing. And when I was trying to download the NBA and FIFA demos, I was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. I can't wait. So I think the FIFA demo was like 11 gigs, and it was going to be like 9 hours. And then I think I left it overnight and essentially didn't download anything. I don't know why. And then I did the proxy, then it was like 9 minutes. I was like, oh, that's cool. And the FIFA demo, which was supposed to be like 11 hours, became 1 hour. And I was like, oh, this is really a thing. I don't know why, but now it works. So
it's solid.
That's the only way I'm going to do that ever again. So. Yeah, you just need a PC. I believe you can do it on Mac, but the link to the Forbes post only has it for PC.
And to answer your question, yes, it is Labor Day with you.
It is Labor Day with you?
Yes, and it is a stat holiday. And I have Tuesday off as well, because it's my son's first ever day of school. So.
Right, but you will still be here next Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
I mean, it's a holiday. I'm getting paid time and a half, possibly.
I'll pay you time. I'll pay you double time.
Anyone in the chat, do you guys know what 1.5 times of 0 is?
Don't tell me 0.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm sure there'll be some hot fire content.
Well, I mean, with no roster update for 2 weeks, I mean, it's really going to depend on what these legends are going to be. So, we'll see. Millennium, you got anything coming up this week that you'd like to discuss?
Nope, just streaming every day.
Anything good?
Everybody's Golf comes out tomorrow, or tonight at midnight. Can't wait for that.
Snacks, Jay. Anything special on your plate?
Not really. Streams, Madden franchise is an ongoing thing now, and Millennium and I are capitalizing on the Sunday franchise streaming market. I think we've got it pretty much cornered now. We're doing a pretty good job of narrowing down as much franchise nation time on Sundays as we can between the two of us. I'm just kind of playing Madden, and I know Destiny comes out next week. Next Tuesday is Destiny.
Is it? Yeah, it's soon because the PC beta is going on right now.
To be fair, I'm dedicating as much time as I can to Madden until NHL comes out, which is 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm super hyped for NHL. I have extremely high expectations. I think the franchise mode could be right up there with Madden's franchise mode. But yeah, that's about it. Just gonna try to get some ranked seasons action in there somewhere as well.
Cool. Wednesday night, out of the park stream for me, twitch.tv/OTP Developments. And I think Thursday, we're going to bring back Thursday Night Throwdown. So if anyone wants to play MLB or Madden against possibly the greatest Canadian video game player ever, that sports gamer, who's never actually been to Canada or related to anybody nearly Canadian. We can play if you're interested. Make sure you go to thatsportsgamer.com/community. That'll take you to the Discord. You can sign up there, get yourself a time slot, catch yourself a W. Wait, no, catch yourself an L? No, I'm going to lose. They'll probably win, so it's fine.
Nice little Freudian slip there, yeah.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bullpen Banter as always. Chris, thank you for coming. Chris, thank you for coming.
Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah, and we'll see you guys again. Well, I guess I'll finish streaming this game, but you guys can leave if you want, unless the chat has any more questions for us. Probably not.
Oh, there's one last question in the chat. Hold on.
Will you be balls on bases, sugar mama?
No.
Okay.
Oh no, it's this Tindo guy. He says, is Millennium?
Yeah. Saw that coming.
Yeah, classic Millennium.
Classic Millennium.
So classic that we saw it coming
definitely
a mile
the
away.
opposite of Man of the People. Millennium.
Yeah. So did you watch Triple Mania or no?
No, I did not. Why don't you guys use the batting setting that makes the ball more pixels to hit your PCI? What?
I'm trying to figure that one out myself.
Yeah, I don't get it. Hey, you came back,
Man of the People.
What does that mean? Millennium, what's the batting setting that makes the ball more pixels?
He's gone again.
Well, how am I going to know his answer?
I'm just assuming that is a troll question at this point.
Or is it, why don't we use Strike Zone? That could be the question.
Why don't we use Strike Zone? I dabbled in Strike Zone. I know a lot of the quote-unquote top players, Man of the People.
Yeah, I don't like... Good. Okay.
We're waiting, Millennium.
Yeah, I just don't like being up that close.
No, I tried it, but I didn't enjoy it.
Offset zoom has been a nice,
Yeah.
a nice in between. I used to be.
Sorry, I'm hearing. I was hearing the stream talk at the same time I still had the audio on. Just to answer Janelle's question, like you guys were answering it as well. That Strike Zone cam doesn't actually make it more pixels for the PCI because it actually changes the PCI size too. You can't use it's changing everything. It's making the Strike Zone bigger. It's making the ball bigger. It's making the PCI bigger.
It's almost like you're just zooming in.
Yeah, it's all of them are being changed by ratio. That being said, Tindell, the reason people use that is because it gives people a better view of the ball coming in. The ones that like that. I tried it for about a month. I know TJ has tried it. I know we've all tried it at some point or another. And for me personally, it made me late on a lot of stuff to start, and then I got on pitches, and then I got late again.
Yeah.
I had the opposite thing happen. I went from offset zoom to Strike Zone. I used Strike Zone for 5 games, and I felt like I was early on everything. Like I just could not sit back on the fastball and wait. I felt I was early.
Maybe because you were afraid of being late.
Well, maybe. And then when I went back to the offset zoom, I was late for a couple of games just trying to get back into it. So that's the one thing I've seen about Strike Zone is people who try it, everybody has kind of a little bit of a different experience with it. People are curious, right? Because a lot of the top players use Strike Zone cam for whatever reason. So, I mean, obviously, if people think there's something there, like people get a little bit curious. But like I said, Millennium said he was late on pitches. I was early on pitches. It's one of those cameras that it really, if it doesn't click with you right away, I don't think it's going to.
I feel like I couldn't. I feel like I couldn't read low pitches being in that close.
That was my issue too.
So I was swinging a lot of
anything
junk in the dirt.
Yeah, low junk in the dirt, which has been solved by me going back to Catcher High. Like I went to Catcher High, which was the camera that I used at the beginning of the year, and I found out Chase Beacott, we were talking about it. He's the executive editor for Operation Sports. We were actually talking about it, and he was like, "I never went away from Catcher High." I said, "Maybe I should try it again." And ever since then, I've been able to actually hit. Like I've gone through some serious offensive woes since messing around with my camera, and now that I'm back there, like it's worked.
Yeah, I'm still using offset zoom after. I used to use it wasn't offset last year. It was something like that, like where you could see pretty much the whole field. Because I like to see where the defenders are without having to like R3 to do the first person view. And also, I like the batting stances and stuff, so I like to see them and their follow throughs and everything. But yeah, strike zone was just way too close for me. I was losing pitches low, and offset zoom seems to be kind of the best of all worlds for me, specifically how I hit with the PCI, where I'm looking essentially in one spot. So I felt like offset zoom really worked well for that.
Solid chat question.
Yeah,
from the mailbag.
I don't remember if it was fisheye. I don't think it was fisheye because I didn't like that hitting the seeing both foul poles. It seemed a little weird.
Should you be banned for using Gaylord Perry?
Yes, without question. He is cheese. Gaylord Perry is cheddar. No Gaylord Perry.
You can use Gaylord Perry all you want, but if you use him and get shelled with him, I mean, you have no excuse.
You got to face the man.
Got to face the music.
Yep.
You need one more future star, TJ. You got to go look at that ticket counter, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
I'll just get Dansby, I guess, at some point.
I'll just go to the ticket counter. There's probably one. They're really cheap. They're like $900.
Carson Kelly's up there right now. I was just looking. I don't need, but that's the one thing I need to do. I need to do all the other stuff too. I'm sure by the time we get all this,
Oh, that's true.
actually, maybe I'll just use my Future Stars team on ranked seasons. Double threat guy. Think about it.
I mean, if you want to get blown out a bunch of games,
Hey man,
go right ahead.
some of those Future Stars cards are worth playing with.
I love the Bregman. I'm having a good time with Alex Bregman.
I think I have him at third base right now. I really like what's this guy's name? Something Barreto.
Franklin Barreto.
Yeah, surprisingly
the
amazing.
key piece of the Josh Donaldson Oakland trade.
Yeah, surprisingly for me, he's been like low key OP. Well, here's the thing. I say that. Let me go actually see what his stats. What I've been doing with him.
Hitting a $187 with 6 errors.
444.
Okay, that's pretty OP.
8 for 18, 4 doubles. Not bad.
Not bad.
I don't think I've done anything with Devers. I've literally done nothing with Devers. 0 for 7.
Okay.
Sell them. I think I've only really used them against
quick sell 'em.
What's his name? Ted last week.
Hard quick sell.
Yo, shout out to Ozzy Albies, 438, 7 for 16, 2 dubs and a homer. And
I have a serious question for the chat. Has anybody in here, and you guys can answer this too, I think you already have, has anyone in here bought a card from the ticket counter only to quick sell it for stubs?
No. That doesn't sound like a terrible idea.
Use tickets to buy a diamond and then quick sold it for 5,000 stubs.
No.
I don't think I've bought a diamond from a ticket counter.
I also think I would never have thought to do that also.
I don't even.
Balls on base says yes. Just so you guys know.
I don't think I've had the high. I only got to gold like last week.
I feel like 5,000 stubs just isn't enough.
Yeah.
To make
You did
that
it to Devers?
transaction.
Jeez.
Yeah. No,
Devers' batting stance is super weird. So
I only got to gold last week, so yeah, no, I have not bought it. I don't think I've bought a diamond from the ticket counter. So there you go. But I absolutely would.
how in God's beautiful green earth am I hitting 297 with Charlie Blackmon?
I don't know.
I'm fairly sure I'm awful with him. I don't know.
He's just that good, TJ.
Maybe.
That's the point.
I got a lot of offers with these guys.
Well, guys, this has been a lot of fun.
Agreed.
Not gonna lie, another wonderful episode.
I think they're all wonderful episodes, but that's just my personal preference.
We're up into the numbers now where I always try to think of a player that wore the episode number as their uniform.
What are we at? 58?
58, yeah.
Ooh.
You find anybody?
58.
That's not like Papelbon? What's Papelbon?
There was a guy.
Papelbon's in that rough area, right?
I
58.
think you might be right about
Papelbon is
yeah.
58.
You guys, I'm kind of good at things. One of them is knowing what number Jonathan Papelbon is. He didn't play this year. Had no idea. Is he hurt? Or just nobody wanted him?
Luckily, the thing is, you can go to baseballreference.com/friv/numbers and literally search any number and it'll bring up the guy.
Friv?
Fernando. Yeah, if you go to Baseball Reference and go to the bottom, it's under the frivolities section. Fernando Abad, where's 58?
I don't see any frivolities down here. Uniform number tracker?
58 for season.
Well, we need for next year. We need for next year. For next week, we need 59.
Yep. Papelbon. Alfonso Soriano wore it when he first got called up. Denny Nagel, Doug Fister, Chad Billingsley,
I barely knew her.
Jeremy.
I think you know what time it is. I think it's time for you all to get out of the bullpen and get into the game. Thanks, Millennium. Appreciate it. Everybody have a great night. Take it easy, folks.